Okay, so happy Friday, guys. As a reminder, if you haven't looked at the calendar, next week we will be meeting Friday back to back in lieu of Wednesday's call. So Friday we will have the next week training, and then we will go right into a coaching session for those of you who have, need help diagnosing some content, things like that, or have any questions on the trainings. So we will not be meeting for Wednesday's call. We will be inside the AI challenge for those of you that are wanting to come into the AI challenge. That's going to be a lot of fun. Really excited, breaking down, how to train the voice fall in the VIP part. Rob's going to be amazing. Melanie, I hope it's okay. I mentioned to Beck that you were in our program. She's like, oh, she is. I didn't realize. So I hope that's okay. She's so awesome. She had great. She's like, that girl. Oh, you're on mute. Wait, no, you're not on mute. What'd you say? I can't hear you. Your voice isn't. Dang it. Yeah, your sound isn't going. But anyway, she was like, she's a butt kicker. I was like, yeah, she is. Um, so I wanted to brag on you for a second, but then I was like, oh, I thought maybe she would knew. Okay. I didn't want to like overstep or anything. We keep all of yeah, come switch over. We keep all of our students' stuff obviously confidential, you guys. We know so many other leaders and people on teams. And we've dealt with this is a good situation, but we've dealt with obviously a lot of, helping people rework things, structure, pivot, deal with uplines, downlines, sidelines. There's so many mechanics that go into team building, right? So we keep everything confidential. But I had to rave on Melanie and to Beck. So, all right, you guys. So later today, like I mentioned, your next piece of the module is going to be in there. But um, did anyone here drop a question in the Google, what is it called? Drive, Google form? Here's Melanie coming back in. Okay, drop a one if you have something specific that you would like to go over today or look at. Drop a one in the chat. Yeah, Melanie.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Awesome. I love it. Yeah, guys, drop a one so that we can make sure to get a list going on things to go over. And I want to recap a little bit about Wednesday. It sucks. I'm in Facebook jail, so I can post, but I can't start new DMs. I can't comment on anything. It's so frustrating till Monday. It's the longest Facebook jail in my life. So, but Wednesday we talked all about conversion content, right? I think a lot of times people see conversion content and sometimes we post it too early. Okay. So, as a note that I didn't get to mention Wednesday, is I want to make sure that we understand that conversion content, we talked about the flow and the process of, engagement content, connecting, pillar content, value content, storytelling, and then conversion content. If your posts in general are not getting engagement yet, even through engagement or connecting posts, you are not ready for conversion content. Okay. Your goal is to create conversations in posts, create connections, get people talking to you, starting conversation, right? Once you feel like, okay, I know that I'm going to post today, and I know a few people at a minimum are going to be commenting. I'm going to trigger something going in the algorithm. I'm going to get more eyeballs on my post. Now it's time to do that. And or timing. So for an example, we went over the storytelling. Okay. You can do a few storytelling posts without a call to action before you give the full beans and have your big clear call to action. Okay. So what does this mean? Let's say as an example, Melissa, right, is going to be relaunching her crypto course, right? Right? And she starts to tell her story about money making, right? About her journey in the financial market in general, more about her more about her story of like when she was most piqued interest about making money, a little bit of a broader scope, not really honing in quite yet about crypto. But then eventually she might do a story post where she tells about the different ways that you can invest money and the different ways that she started to learn about. Then she might finally reveal, you know, a post that talks all about crypto, the benefits of it, and then a call to action to learn more. So can you guys hear me? Okay, I'm so sorry. They're okay. There's these guys next to me. So with that being said, what we're doing is we're priming and we're planting seeds in our audience to be like, oh, what's that? Oh, I want to know more about that. Okay. So you guys might remember back into the challenge that we did, right? On day one, we right away, we always mention our Digital Recruiting Academy students. We do a roll call on day 2 or day 3. Throughout this week, we're sharing student highlights. We're priming the audience to be aware that we can help people deliver a result and solution to get them out of pain. And by the way, I was listening to Andy Frizella's podcast this morning, which I freaking love so much because it makes me get my big girl panties on and makes me be like, so what? Suck it up. And so he's just so funny. I'm like, man, I'm complaining way too much. You need a good kick in your butt. It's good. And he has a very colorful language though, so you have to be willing to bypass that. But he was talking about a lot of times we put so much emphasis on the money and the income and the rank, like getting this because of what we receive of the money. And a lot of times that happens because we will make money and we're fearful of what's going to happen to it. Okay, hang with me here for a second. So what's going to happen? The fear of losing the money before it even comes in. That energy that we have around those thoughts spreads. Instead, we have to flip the switch in our mindset to be thinking, I have solutions for people. I have solutions for people and I have problems that I can solve. So I am on the hunt to help as many people through this problem. And I had this awakening today even about this because recently I brought on some private clients that I'm helping run like their own events, their own virtual events, helping them scale them. And I've had so much fun doing that. And I'm like, man, and this and this. And I'm like, they're like, wow, they're really impressed with my work. And I'm like realizing, yeah, it's because anytime I can help someone through something that specifically I've been through too, it feels so good to help people avoid more of that pain. Okay. So all of our products and services, create a solution for people's pain. And so we have to get into the mindset of our content is solving problems for people. It's not about generating leads. It's about content is solving problems for people. Content is adding value to people. It's not, and I know you guys aren't thinking this way, but it's not how much money can I make from this post? It's how many people can I help with this piece of content? And then another thing that he was talking about, which was really good for me to hear, for those of you that have also climbed up the ranks before, and this isn't your first rodeo, or maybe you've been successful in different areas. Maybe it's even at your job that you've been successful and climbed up promotions. There's this visual of the bell curve, right? From horizontal from left to right. And as you kind of get to up the curve to the top of what the curve is for you, and you've had some success, what happens to a lot of times, and I'm so guilty of this, you guys, what happens is we get to this place of Megan is great because Megan is great because Megan has done this, or Megan has this, or this amount of income. Instead of realizing we are great because a version of our past self was willing to put in hard work consistently day after day. And that consistent daily work created a compound effect that then led to the result of you being at the pinnacle peak. So a lot of reasons that you know, people are failures isn't even because they're lazy or they don't know how to they don't take action. It's because they've created success, they've lost that or slipped, whether it was a company maybe, or they got complacent or something. And now they don't take the action of rebuilding it. And so when you're at the top of your game, that is the time that you continue to be consistent. Now it looks a whole lot different because it doesn't have to be as dirty, as messy, as like tiring and hard, because you, especially as like a leader, if you think about, if maybe you're somebody who's built to a position that you had to get out of a job, well, now you don't have to work your 9 to 5 and your network marketing business, right? And so complacency, right? What's the biggest enemy of great? It's good, right? Have you guys heard that before? The biggest enemy of greatness is good. There's a specific quote, like the enemy of great is good. I think that's what it is. But it's because we are like, I'm good. I'm so good, or I've created this. And that is our enemy that holds us back to getting to that next level. And so if we're at the top of the bell curve, our job isn't to stay line, is to continue to take the small incremental actions that compound over time to the next high level of the top of the bell curve. Because I can promise you, no matter all of us, as successful, as hundreds of millions of revenue that we've driven or will continue to drive, there's always a next level, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that was my little Andy Frisella. How'd I do?
Okay.
Okay, Melanie. Oh, it's I gotta be quiet. Okay. All right, time for Melanie's question. Let's dive in, Melanie, sister.
Yeah, so when we met on Wednesday, you gave us an assignment.
Yes.
Do you remember what the assignment? Oh, 10 things I can teach. Okay.
Yes.
So what I'm doing is creating a quiz for my ideal person. And this is pushing me to stuff in tech. I know I can do it, but I just always said I'd rather pay somebody. But I'm like, you know what? I got to learn how to do this stuff so I understand the back end. Anyway, so that's a big thing for me. But I'm creating this quiz that has four things that they could be. And then I have an email sequence, and then it stops. So in the email sequence is a little bit of my story, and message me if you want to know more about. Would you recommend after those three emails something else, or do they just go into my regular flow?
Okay, I love this question because this is like the stuff that I love. So thank you for bringing this today.
Yeah.
Okay, but I do want to mention, I heard you say you need to learn this stuff. I will say I have done myself sometimes a little bit of like a pain by trying to learn everything. And there is a $6 an hour virtual assistant out there. And
Oh,
I have
wow.
like 25 of them in my inbox if you want me to connect you with
Okay.
one, because I did
Well,
a post in
yeah.
a community that can probably build it for you.
All right. Well, it's almost
But
done. It's done. I
but
just have to
anyways,
the sequences.
next time. So but at least for maintaining, but I love it. So
Yeah.
so when we think of an email sequence that's going to kick off, is it going to kick off based on their certain responses, or is it just they submit it and everybody gets the same sequence?
No, there's four different, it's like, what type
Perfect.
of woman are
Yep.
you? And then there's four different kinds, and then there's a different email sequence.
For each type,
Mhm.
right? Okay, perfect. So typically when this happens, most of the time the people coming in are a new lead. If
Mhm.
not, they're a lead that could use warming up. So we're going to kick off what's called a soap opera sequence. So that typically looks like a 5 days, a 5 day sequence. And the reason it's called soap opera versus what we refer to as like Seinfeld, which I'll get to in a second, is because if you think about your favorite soap opera, like last night we were watching was it the Mormon House? It's like so crazy. Like my babysitter my nanny, like I just wanted to spend time with her. And I was like, what do you want to do? What do you want to watch? And that's what she wanted to watch.
Mhm.
So next thing I know, I'm like caught up because I'm like, oh my gosh, Macy did what? And I'm only 30 minutes in. And then she's like, all right, well, I'm gonna get going. And I'm like, wait, I need to know what happened with Macy. I'm like, wait, I'm like invested in these people. So a soap opera sequence is going to do just that. It's going to take a lead down a journey and keep them at the end of the cliff each and every day, like waiting and ready to come back to your um to the email, to the inbox the next day. Typically, you want to have at the end of the 5 days a call to action. So whether it's leading them to a sale or it's leading them to a booked call or it's leading them to the next application, for you, it would probably be, and it might be different per sequence. But leading them basically to that next step in the customer journey ladder. So I can share some 5 day sequences with you later.
Yeah,
Um,
please.
but now real quick, Joe, hi Joan. The sign spelled list is now your main email list that you would then like add a tag to and have them go there. And we can go back and forth on voice message a little this week too on this, but basically your signs, we call it signs are like the daily or the reoccurring emails. Like if you're emailing your list once, twice, 3 times a week, because if you think of like the show Seinfeld, it was pretty like flat, it was
Are you
kind of
saying
like,
Seinfeld? Seinfeld?
yes, sure.
Okay.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
What were you? I'm like, what
Fine.
is she talking about?
Seinfeld, Seinfeld. I don't
Seinfeld.
even know what it's called.
Oh, I don't.
It's Pat. Yeah. I do remember watching it when I was like a kid, like for a few minutes. Seinfeld. Is that what it's called? That
Yes.
guy, that show,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that would be like, he's kind of like flat, like funny, but boring. Like you kind of know what to expect. There's a lot of structure. It's the same old every day, comes to his apartment, they eat at the same diner versus like the soap opera, the Mormon Housewives. It's just like, I mean, drama is the only consistent thing, right?
Mhm.
So that's the difference between the two. So I will send you some examples of
Yeah,
different
please.
ones for you. Yeah. And then in your workflow, and I know this is way beyond the scope of this call, guys. Sorry. So give me one last thing. In your workflow, I would have like you deliver the emails like wait one day, deliver it, wait one day. And then at the end, I would add the tag, whatever that is, to basically add to your main list. I would not
Right.
include them in your daily emails as you're at the same time.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, no.
Perfect. Okay,
Once
cool.
they're done, they'll go into the
Awesome.
flow.
All right, give it up to Melanie. Whoop.
Well, now I'm thinking, okay, what is the soap opera and what kind of story can I share that they would be off on the edge of their seats?
Exactly. You'll come up with something good. But yeah, I'll give you examples and stuff.
Okay.
Okay, Joan. I'm gonna turn it over to Joan, you guys. It's been my pleasure this morning. And I'm gonna go get the kids
All
and I'll
right.
let you take it away. Okay.
Okay, we'll see ya. Thank you, Megs.
Bye guys.
All right, guys. How we doing this morning? Doing well? Good, good, good. All right. I did not see any additional questions in the coaching portion, but this is your call. So I know Melanie, you and I have had a chance to talk a little bit more one-on-one. Thalia, I left you a message. KD and Christina, what can we do for you ladies? Anybody? Melissa, what's up, guys? Anybody want to go over certain parts, some things that you want to discuss or have my support around?
If nobody's going to go, I'll ask more questions.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and then as someone else thinks about their question, raise their hand, okay?
Okay. So I kind of talked to you a little bit about this yesterday. I'm mainly, my leads and sales are all from TikTok, and TikTok has changed completely the TikTok shop. So now what I'm doing is this is very different content from Facebook. This is
Sure.
like in your face because I have a product attached, which I love. So I don't know if you can even give me advice or help or support how to structure something like that that's in your face like calling out the person right away, calling out the pain point right away, and telling them to where to get it. Is there some sort of structure that you know about with promoting marketing that way? Because I've been out of professional store marketing for so long. It's like,
Yeah,
what's the best way to approach?
yeah. So, I mean, typically, but what I want to understand is, are you asking me for what you would put in TikTok Shop, or are you asking me for like Facebook, taking that same messaging and coming to Facebook or Instagram?
Well, my goal is to craft TikTok reels that they have the link right to the product. So this is very different than attraction marketing in that, people aren't reaching out, people are clicking the link. And
Yeah,
this is what they want to do over there.
yep, yeah.
So is there, I mean, and you may
It's
not be
pretty
able,
easy.
okay,
Well, no, it's not hard for me to, I
okay,
mean,
good.
it's going to be the same format. You
Okay,
guys, you want to use a hook,
right.
right? You want to use a hook that's going to draw them in and identify their pain point.
Okay,
Oops.
right.
Okay. And then you're going to want to use the story format, even if it's a short form
Like
story.
so short.
Yeah. So it basically says, here's where I was. This is what happened. And here's where I am today. Click the link if you want yours, you know? And I
So like,
use that same kind of story format, just so you know, in my own stories.
that's what I was going to say, is it's like stories in Instagram, take that and put it into TikTok reels for sales.
Yeah, but what you can do, I'm going to give you a prompt that will
Okay,
help you even more, is take your take what I just told you, add that to your custom chat GPT. So I'm sure you have an Amare chat GPT.
yep,
But then I want you to say exactly what you want them to do with the content.
okay,
So I spell it out. And that's why I get really good results with Chat GPT. I just push the talk button and I say, you know, it's Joan. What I'm looking to do is, use this kind of a prompt or this kind of a layout, starting with the pain point. Everything I just told you,
hmm,
I put into Chat GPT. Can you guys hear that? No? Okay, good. Or you can?
like,
It's weird.
it's not very loud.
Yeah. Okay. So, and the other thing I want everybody to know here is you can also take a picture of directions, content of somebody else's. Like you should be able, I'm sure, Melanie, you probably have 2 or 3 or 4 people you know of that you like their TikTok shop content.
Hmm.
So I take a picture of that stuff if it's in the right format or whatever, using the link. And then I say, copy this kind of content formula using my voice and my product and my information for blank company, right?
Okay. Hmm.
And you're going to get a lot of good content
Okay.
spit out.
Okay.
So you guys, just since we're talking about this, I'm going to take this one step further for everybody here. So, whether you're posting content, it doesn't matter what your platforms are. Obviously, we recommend that you start with one content, or I'm sorry, start with one platform. If you're successful on one, you add another. If you're successful with 2 and 3, great. But what I want to share with you is how I create content for Facebook. All right. So, what I just shared with Melanie, I often will share that with my chat GPT. Okay. And what I do is I tell it exactly what I want. Okay. So I would say, I want you to take this piece of content. I'm going to actually show you what I do. That's probably even because you guys can do this too. This is not hard and it does take some playing around, but let's just show you. Okay, so here is one. Oh, come on. All right. So notice on the sides here, these are my customs, okay? These are my customs so that I use all these different folders. See, travel content. These are all the different things that I might be creating content for. So you start with a new project, and what you do is so it can be your company. All right. So I'm just going to go. You guys probably know I have MWR travel content. So notice here, whoops, recruiting title suggestions, jaw-dropping hook ideas, okay, Facebook post hook, shorten or rewrite a content. Anyway, what the idea would be is that you load in any information that you can give about your company. So it doesn't matter what company you're with, you want to give Chat GPT, you just tell it, I would say this, I am loading, if I haven't done this yet, I am loading information about, and then I'm just going to write this. Let's just say I say my company's Green Compass. I know no one here is with that company. And I want to begin having you create some valuable content. Okay, so we're just playing around with it, right? So I load this. You could load posts that your company provides. You can load all kinds of things. So I want you guys to watch this. I've already loaded it. So I'm going to say, I want a travel. Now I have to show you guys this way so you understand. I want a travel post I want a travel post. Let's see, what could I say? That draws leaders to me about the business. Now, typically I would say use Joan's voice and, blank story. I'm just going to write, and let's use story form. Why would I do that? Because we know that the stories sell, right? So watch. It's going to punch out a post. It even gives me some options here. You see? I'm not going to probably take the options, but I wasn't even thinking about business when I booked the trip. I just wanted a few days to breathe, to get out of my routine, clear my head, and honestly feel like me again. Blah, blah, blah. Okay? Now, I would take this and I would not copy this like this verbatim to my post. But again, my Chat GPT is pretty honed into me, so I take out a lot of things that people would think that it was Chat GPT. Okay? So I might take this and put this over into my Google Docs to store some content. But let's say I'm like, okay, drop travel below. This looks pretty good. Let's say that I'm settling on this, right? So then I might say, please make a reel, a story, and an email for this. No, wait, I'm sorry. Using this content. This is how you're going to get the hang of it. Now watch what it does. See here? Reel, hook, script, CTA, Story, it's showing me 3 different frames. So the first frame of the story, I would copy and paste this and put a picture behind it. Second frame would be this. Third frame. You guys see where I'm going with this? Now look here. Here's the email. It gives me subject option. This hit me on the plane. I don't want this kind of business anymore. Quiet realization. Maybe I don't want this business anymore. You want to pick a hook that makes people want to open your email. Okay? And then I would adjust this kind of stuff. Does that make sense, you guys? All right. I know I'm looking at some people's eyes. They're glazed over a little bit, but how does that sit with you guys? Is that helpful? KD, you look like you're in the... Talk to me.
I'm just like taking it all in. I don't understand how you have that content, but have an email. I don't understand what you're talking about, an email.
If you have an email list, if you don't have an email list, don't worry about it.
Okay, so not not Facebook, but just a separate. Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I just developed out of one piece of content like 5 things.
okay, I got it. Perfect.
Yeah. So then what I can do is I usually make a week to 2 weeks of content in advance on a weekend. And that's how I do it. But if you don't have an email list, you don't need to put email, right? So you just start where you're at. The only way you get good at this stuff, you guys, is just by practicing it, and then you just make it your own. Is that helpful, Thalia?
Very helpful. And actually, I've been playing around with ChatGPT lately, and I'm just amazed and like,
It's pretty cool,
it's
isn't
really
it?
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So what I want to tell you guys, some of you are at different levels. Like Melanie has been doing this a lot already, but she's honing in, on doing some things a little different because TikTok changed a bit. Um, some of you guys are just beginning to do this. So what I want to make sure you know is that you can take a piece of content and then have me take a look at it for you before you go, yeah, I want to sit on this. And then we go put it back into your chat GPT once we're good with it. And then you create a story if you want, a reel or whatever. So I just start with a static post that includes a hook. The story format is usually my audience loves stories. And then um uh the call to action. Or I might do a value post or an engagement post. Okay? So you literally could take all the notes you took from any one of these classes and load that in to your chat GPT. You see? You want to try and program your chat GPT for as much. You give it as much. You just say, I want to give you these notes from my DRA, engagement, curiosity posts, and conversions so that you can help me create the proper content. Does that make sense? Is that helpful? Okay. Who else? Melissa, Christina, you're driving. I'm going to, Melanie, I know you're good for the moment. Anybody else? What else? Questions do you have? What else can I help you guys with? Anybody?
Joan, for me, I'm going to take some of the information you shared and what Megan, and
Yeah.
I'm going to spend some time with ChatGPT and see where it goes.
Okay.
And yep,
Okay. And then I left you a message in the DMs.
yes,
So let's make sure then we can talk about that on the call.
yes. I will call you. I
KD,
will,
we
yeah.
need to book an additional coaching call with you.
Okay.
So you can give me some available times in the DMs. And Christina, I need to get you on a call. Melissa, I think you're working between Megan and I, whatever we can do. Are you guys with me?
Mhm.
Okay.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Um, I noticed that like chat allows me to play with them for so long, and then they ask me to pay money for. Is this like what? Is this like what everyone else has? Like
You
it's
mean
not
the
free?
chat
Yeah.
GPT? It's an
Yeah. Like I.
additional, yeah,
Oh.
it doesn't have anything to do with us, like, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's an
Like
app
it. Oh.
that,
Yeah. I have that app. It only allows me to chat for so long. Like the. And then
yeah, because
they.
it's a fee.
Oh. So it's just the way they are. Just that's.
Well, it's just like any app, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Yeah.
just,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, you're right. It's just like a membership, like LinkedIn is a membership,
Yeah.
Chat
Yeah.
GPT. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I guess what you're saying is for me to get better at all this, I didn't have to upgrade.
I would,
Yeah,
because
okay.
it's at the end of the day, it's going to save you so much
Sure,
time,
sure,
right?
sure. Yeah,
And
right.
it's going
Okay.
to help everybody with proper formatting and especially as long as you guys have Megan and I, we can help you with the prompts, you see?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
So I want to make sure that everybody's getting privy to it because it, it's there's such a gap in between doing it all on your own and allowing it to use your information and do it with you, and then you make some adjustments. Is that helpful, KD?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Yes.
Okay. Melissa. Hi, sweetie. Are
Hey,
you hotter?
lady.
Are you hotter than hell?
Oh my gosh, I can't even. We're trying to do some renovations to to my place so we can Airbnb it when I'm gone. And we are slow going for sure.
I'm
Because we're like,
sitting
it's too hot.
I'm sitting outside looking at the pool. My grandkids are coming and I'm like, "Oh, it's so hot."
Yeah.
Sorry, you guys. God, all these allergies and everything. I got all my goods going on here. I got my Zyrtec. All right. What can I do for you, Melissa? Anything come to mind?
Well, I have to apologize. I missed the last probably 10 minutes of the call because I had to take another call, about my course. So I finally got my pictures back from the photo shoot. I did my Facebook cover.
Yeah.
So I did that and so now I know I'm kind of like circling back now and trying to get all caught up on all the homework for because the wrench got thrown in my plan right at the beginning of the course, so I had to kind of
Yeah.
circle back. So I guess, I made a post, I want to say yesterday, that's gotten some, really good engagement.
Yeah.
Kind of alluding to, it was kind of a twofold. It was expressing my, excitement for the Women in Crypto panel that I was invited to be on at the end of the month, but also kind of setting the tone for a little more in the way as I move closer to launching my course.
Right.
To kind of get that, planting the seeds like Megan was talking about earlier, not,
Yeah,
not,
you want to start what we call, yeah, planting the seeds. You want to start priming them for what's
yeah.
coming,
And
kind
so
of
I didn't have a
teasers.
call. Yeah, I didn't have obviously no call to action because
Yeah,
it's
add
too
value.
soon.
Yeah,
Right, it's too soon. My course isn't ready, but I know I can take this time leading up to probably in the next couple of weeks till I'm ready to launch. While I'm getting to just kind of start dripping
yeah.
on my warm market. So I'm thinking that's a good plan. And
You
so
you use Chat GPT, right?
I did, and then I tweaked it, just like you were saying, because I
Okay.
I always look at it and I go, oh yeah, and then I change things like that doesn't actually sound like something I like that doesn't
So,
sound like my voice. So then I
yeah,
I always change things around.
yeah. So then you tell Chat GPT, like, that doesn't sound like me. What else do you need
Yeah,
from me to sound more like me and be in my voice? And it'll tell you. Here's
right.
another thing, guys. Write this down. In Melissa's case, I would have her have that separate tab. Remember how I showed you those new projects? So she has a separate tab in Chat GPT. It's just one click. She labels it crypto course, right? Or whatever her course name
Yeah,
is. And then she goes in there and loads all of her course information. I don't care what it is, copy and paste everything. Or
right.
take a picture of it and load the picture. Chat GPT will read the picture. Okay? You just tell it, I'm loading all the information so that you have everything on my course, on my company, on my products, whatever it is. And then Melissa will say, I'm 2 weeks out. God, I'm 2 weeks out from launching my course. I would like 6 teaser emails or, whatever. I want some teaser emails to create some curiosity while I'm still adding value. You see? Because our goal is to add value to people before we ask them to buy. Does that make sense?
Awesome. Yeah, that's what I needed was kind of like, okay, I made the post yesterday. I'm getting people commenting. I'm getting some, DMs just
Yeah,
like, hey, congratulations. I mean, nothing really, because my only thing was I was announcing I'm going to be on this Women in Crypto panel. So there
yeah,
really isn't a call to action for them to
no,
do anything. But I am getting messages like, hey, congratulations, how exciting, stuff like that. And that's kind of what I wanted was to kind of
yeah.
build
You
that
want to build
momentum.
the excitement. And the
Right.
building of the excitement, guys, takes about 2 weeks if you're promoting something. Now, if it's your company and it's your products, you've been building it all the way along. But you
Right.
still want to give Chat GPT as much information about you, your company, your products, specifics. Just give it all to it. Okay?
Right.
Because I'll give you an idea. Let's pretend just for a minute that I wanted to sell some Ignite the Light cards. Okay? Just pretend today I want to, dig deeper. I want to sell these. So I'm going to take a picture of this, and then I'm going to say, here's, 10 cards or whatever, for ideas. Here's my 10 best cards. And then I'm going to say, build me out a story sequence to share my cards and eventually give them a link to purchase. You see? If you don't know what the prompt is, you can tell Megan or my goal is to sell the cards. How do I do that, Joan? And I'm going to tell you guys. Okay? Megan or I can do this stuff. It's not just one or the other on this stuff. All right? Megan is more of like back end, higher level stuff if you're working with a CRM and the back end stuff and emails and all that. I probably still could help you though, actually. So, all right. Anything else, you
Awesome. Thank
guys? Is that
you.
helpful? Okay, good.
Super. Thank you.
And Melissa, if you need additional, I'm around all weekend too.
Yeah, I was kind of, I was kind of waiting to get the images from the photo shoot and then kind of see where I was. And now I'm at that point where I'm like, okay, my materials are coming in. And now I'm kind of like, okay, I sat down yesterday, I did that post. I'm like, okay, that's good. Now I'm just, I'm starting to kind of unpack our, the homework that I was kind of, I was like in limbo. I couldn't really do much of the
Yeah,
homework until I had like all these
till
other
you had
pieces.
this stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So that's kind of what my goal is this next week is to kind of circle back around, get all my socials done, do all the
get
things.
caught
Now
up.
get and then get my boards, my Trello all set up for my posting and then really dive in. So I may be reaching out if I get stuck, with
Awesome.
that stuff.
You got it. And you
Thank you.
guys, so some of you know also, I'm very simple. Like I personally don't use a Trello board. I put everything just in Google Docs. So I'm going to show you guys just so you get an idea, because I think these kinds of things are helpful. A lot of people will ask me, how do I store my content? Okay, so I'm going to come up here. Now I'm in Google Docs, and I'm going to say up here, maybe, hang on a minute. There we go, search. So I'm going to say content. Oh, my content plan 2026. My computer's getting hot, Melissa. Okay. Oh, geez, it's not even loading quite. Okay. All right. You guys see over here these tabs? So let's just look at March 2nd. Now, hang on a minute. This isn't quite this is email content. I want to show you. Just a second. Okay, Jones content 2026. See if this comes up. Okay. So notice my content revolves around leadership and recruiting. So you guys see here, Sunday, January 4th, reel must be 10 seconds. And then this is how I store my content. Facebook static, I'm going to use this guy. Then I have a story or a reel. Well, maybe I should, I don't know why it's not in here, but all right. Typically we have it in here. I don't know why it's not. But I just want you to see that all you got to do is basically take your content that you generate in Chat GPT and you'll copy and paste it and put it right here where your story is. You see? And I just do it by the day. I do my content on a week. Some people do it differently. Some people do it in Trello. Some people do it in ClickUp. There's all things. I just keep it simple right here. Okay? You get the idea, right? It's just an easier way to organize it. Okay, guys. Well, if we are complete, anyone else? KD, Dahlia, any other questions for today? Everybody knows next Wednesday we will not be having class, but we will be having training and coaching next Friday. We are in the AI Recruiting Secrets Challenge. So if you're not in the free challenge, certainly get in it. You guys are already students, so, you can get in it for free and be all good. All right? Okay, beauties. Have a beautiful weekend. I love you so much, and we'll see you soon. Make sure you write me, KD, and well,
Me.
the three of you guys, write
Yeah.
me your availability for next week so we can get on a call.
Okay.
Okay. All right, guys. Love ya. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.